Today, Senator Bernie Moreno spoke with President Trump about the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. He joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for talking with us. What was your focus of your conversation with the president?
Well, the urgency of getting this bill across the finish line. We have about 3 weeks left to go where we have to deliver this bill that will deliver the campaign promises that every Republican made on the campaign trail. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, preventing the largest tax increase in American history, which would take $5,000 out of every American's pocket. And of course, the money we desperately need to modernize our air traffic control system. That's what's at risk. We can't fail. We have to get this done.
There's been a lot of concern, of course, about changes to essential programs like Medicaid and SNAP food aid in the bill. What do you tell your constituents in Ohio who are concerned about losing access to these programs?
What we're doing is making certain that we have work requirements on able-bodied adults so we can strengthen Medicaid. We're making certain that illegal aliens don't have access to welfare programs that are intended to help Americans that are struggling. We're also going to make certain that we have the money to detain and deport criminal illegals, 600,000 of which have criminal cases against them. We need to get them the heck out of this country, and we need the money to do that, and that's what we're doing.
Turn to the protests that we're seeing across the country. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was on Capitol Hill addressing lawmakers' concerns about the use of military forces on U.S. soil once again today. Do you believe deploying the military to conduct law enforcement on U.S. soil is legal?
Look, we have to make certain that we protect American cities. If not for President Trump, Los Angeles would be burning right now. We had 6 ICE agents that were totally in fear of their life because local officials, an incompetent mayor, a grossly incompetent governor, refused to do their job.
Is there anything you would not find acceptable for the U.S. military to do on U.S. soil?
Look, President Trump understands what the Constitution is. He understands what the laws are. We have to protect our cities. We have to protect our ICE agents. We have to protect our federal buildings. And Gavin Newsom should maybe get off Twitter and start actually going down to L.A. and protecting his own citizens.
What I keep hearing again and again is the idea of due process. And we've talked with lawmakers and others who say, look, if ICE were only apprehending and detaining individuals with criminal records, and if they were giving each detainee a chance to contest their case, we wouldn't have an issue with enforcement. But they say that's not happening, and innocent people, hardworking members of their communities, are getting swept up under the rug. Your response to that?
Well, they're dead wrong. Like I said, I followed the process to come to this country legally. And by definition, if you didn't follow that process, if you cut the line, you've broken our laws. So we're going to give them a limited due process, which is what they're entitled to. But we're going to do it in a way that protects Americans. We're going to get rid of these criminal aliens. And if you're in this country illegally, you need to go. There's millions of people like myself who are waiting in line to come to this country legally. Let's reward them for following our laws and not reward the people who skip the line.
Hundreds of protesters marched in Columbus, Ohio yesterday to denounce the ICE raids in California and elsewhere. Those are your constituents. What do you tell them?
Well, as you said, it's hundreds of people. My state is made up of 12 million people, a state that President Trump won by almost 12 points. I put a lifelong politician into a retirement home. We kept him to just over 46% of the vote because the people of Ohio understand that we want legal immigrants that add value to this country, assimilate, learn our language, and aren't here to commit crimes or take government benefits that are intended for American citizens. That's why President Trump is so popular in Ohio. Plus, on top of that, he's bringing industry back that got gutted by prior administrations. He's doing that through tariffs and good tax policy. And we're going to do that with the Big Beautiful Bill, finally, a bill that helps working class Americans.
So you do think it's going to pass in the Senate?
Absolutely. We got 3 weeks. I hope to be back here in exactly 3 weeks for a signing ceremony for the most worker-friendly, senior-focused, American first bill that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Senator Moreno, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you joining the show.
Thank you.